rock and roll. Yeah, I think the biggest thing offensively, we've just taken care of the basketball so much better, and so it's a lot less runouts for them, us at least getting shots, and so I think we're back to 16 assists, 10 turnovers is good. It's great. Yeah, I mean Pat's healthy, so again, I've kind of beat that dead horse, but it's um, he got hurt Tennessee, really couldn't play UCLA, and he sprained his ankle. He's out for those 4 games. He just gives us a different dynamic in the fact that we can switch pick and rolls. He can slide over to the power forward. He can slide over to the center. He's, he was a big key of why we got off to such a really good start. Yeah, I mean, it was only a matter of time. I mean, I have great confidence in him. He's never stopped putting in the work. It was a matter of time till it start. And he didn't get too many easy ones. He made some tough ones, which was great to see because that's what he's capable of doing. And if he starts doing that, then I think it just opens up everything else for everybody.
16 assists for the team today, tied the season high. How much do you think that helps out the offense and kind of getting into a rhythm?
No, I mean, yeah, I think the biggest thing is the assists are great, but the turnovers are even bigger. And I think Hakeem has been, the last 2 games, has really just played with a very steady pace, finding guys. And again, didn't shoot the ball great tonight, but 5 assists, 1 turnover. And if you look at what he did in the second half the other night, I just think the way he's playing and passing the basketball has made a big difference.
Kevin, 20 points for you guys off of 15 Nebraska turnovers. How encouraging is that to have that in your arsenal?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit. Unfortunately, Fred's kind of battled the injury bug, and that's been their Achilles heel a little bit. They've been in games, and because they've gotten awful thin, their turnovers, I think, has really hurt them. So, we didn't press that much tonight, but I thought our hands were active, and Fred's team played really, really hard, and I think they're giving it their best considering the fact that what they've gone through in the last 12 days.
Coach, just with Derek Walker struggling a little bit initially inside and then figuring him out later in the game, what was your defensive game plan evolved over the game?
I don't think Derek struggled that much. I apologize. I mean, he was 8 for 12, 8 rebounds, 16 points.
No, you struggled against Derek Walker.
Oh, struggling against Derek Walker. Yeah, very true. Good point. Again, Juju, that's a tough matchup in the fact that they bring him away from the basket and they space out shooters. He's done that. I'm a big fan of Derek. He's done that to everybody in the league. I think we put Pat on him, which was a little bit undersized, and actually it's kind of I think that went our way. I thought that was a big difference.
And 24 or 26 from the free throw line. What's your reaction to that?
Making sure we have the right guys shooting the free throws. Hakeem, Jameer got there. And again, I think that's been a big difference. We've been aggressive getting to the basket. So, we are a good free throw shooting team for the most part.
Hey, Coach, you've referred to Pat Million as one of the most important players to this team. And in what ways tonight did he prove that statement to you?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the plus minus, he's plus 19. So I think the biggest thing is defensively, he came in and gave Derek Walker a hard time. And then once Derek started having a hard time going, that kind of gave their offense a hard time going. So I've said it, the fact that I feel very comfortable in being able to move him from power forward to center to power forward, and he's able to do that from a play call standpoint, from a defensive standpoint, from a zone standpoint. That's a pretty valuable guy.
Talked a lot about Jameer Young's just offensive performance, but he had 6 steals today. How important is he on the defensive side of the ball to kind of turn that defense into offense as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think Jameer's obviously offensively he's really come a long way. I think defensively, I think he still has a ways. I don't think he realizes how good of a defender he can be. I think he's still kind of starting to get. I think he's starting to get it, to be honest with you, just like he got it offensively. But at his size, his quickness, he does a great job at reading where the basketball's going. I'd like to see him be a little bit more aggressive at times, but again, I'm asking him to do a lot offensively. So, but I think he's a heck of a defender, but that could be even better.
Went pretty deep into the bench tonight. No starter played more than 35 minutes. Just this time of year with these 3 games, Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday, how valuable is it to you to not have those guys out there for 40 minutes tonight?
Yeah, I mean, Dante was probably out there a little bit too long, but I'm trying to get Dante into a little bit more of an offensive rhythm. I have a lot of confidence in our bench. I have all year. You know, it's rare. You know, usually this time of year you're playing 7, so to get those guys in there is helpful. Thank you, everybody.
Pat, just how are you feeling? How has the injury recovery been? And does a day like today make you feel like you're pretty much all the way back?
Yeah, I'd say I'm pretty much feeling 100% now, and it feels very refreshing to be injury free and be able to contribute to the game.
Don, coach said that he felt it was a matter of time until your shots would go in from 3. Even with the early season struggles that you had, did you feel the same way that if you just kept at it, eventually the shots would start falling like they did tonight or today?
Most definitely, I agree a lot with what he said. The more important thing is the work never stopped. My confidence never dropped. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people doubted me, whatever it is. My teammates believed in me. That's the most important thing for me. And I just work every day. So eventually, like Coach said, it'll happen. It'll drop.
Question for both of the players. The ball movement in the first half, I think you guys had 10 assists on 11 made baskets. What was the approach today? What was the key to executing the way you guys did to get going today?
Nebraska, they play heavy help side defense. They always in rotation, always helping each other on the defensive end. So we knew that penetrating kicks would be there, just setting our teammates up and making the right reads.
Yeah, 100%. We just wanted to emphasize not turning the ball over too. So just taking care of it and moving the ball well as a team was key tonight.
Pat, covering Derek Walker today, what was the defensive approach?
I mean, he's just a big body, very skilled, big. He's not very traditional in the sense that he could dribble the ball and he could score from any point on the field. So yeah, it was just sticking with him, being strong, knowing that there's going to be help coming from behind if he turns his back. And yeah, I think we did the best we could on that guy. He's a good player.
And for either of you guys, do you think the offensive chemistry was sort of at a season high today?
Yeah, I think 100%. I would say this was one of our highlights of the year. Just moving the ball, everybody getting touches, everybody feeling like they're contributing equally, and just knowing where to go. So Don, like I said, Don's a shooter. That's what he does. He's a great shooter. So he was just finding his place, hitting threes like he always does. And yeah, I think everybody had the right approach to today's game.
Thanks, Pat.
Question for Pat. I guess Coach Willard's talked about before how you're just one of the most important players, but you don't, or your impact is not always showed on like the box score. So, but how good does it feel to like have a decently major impact on the box score and your numbers all showing up there?
I mean, yeah, I'd be lying if I say it doesn't feel a little good, but I'm a veteran, I'm a senior player, and I really couldn't care less as long as we get the win. So I think we've been picking it up recently, and if it's 0 points or 10 points, I've been equally as happy if we're back in the locker room with a win.
Don, just kind of going off the last couple of questions about the assists. It's the 4th straight game that you guys as a team have notched a positive assist to turnover ratio. Just how much of the emphasis have been maybe the last couple of games to maybe limit turnovers or kind of just taking care of the ball more?
A big emphasis, honestly. So I think earlier on our stretch when we lost, we were averaging more turnovers than assists. So like that was something that Coach came in the locker room and talked to us about. So really just, learning from our mistakes, getting better, and capitalizing on that. And I think we're playing a better brand of basketball that way.
For either of you guys, what were you guys doing defensively tonight to limit the offensive abilities of Tominaga? He only made one shot the entire game.
I would say just he's a tough player. He makes a lot of tough shots, but just making him and continue to make him make tough shots, making everything tough for him, hand in the face, running him off the line, whatever it is, not giving him what he wants and what he's comfortable doing.
And for either of you guys, Indiana coming to town on Tuesday, they've won 4 in a row. You guys obviously 2 20-point wins in a row. How do you guys take this energy into Tuesday, what should be a really big game for both teams?
Just keeping the same energy we've had and bringing it into practice tomorrow. And even though we're going to be a little beat up, just keeping the same energy as we've had during this good momentum run, and just being consistent. Consistency has been the key for the whole year, and it's going to remain that.
This question's for either of you guys. This is the first time this season you guys been able to grab back-to-back wins over conference opponents. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that and your biggest takeaways from that.
I know Coach says a lot that we had the toughest schedule, but he actually showed us the other day. So I think we all realized that we did, and the last 2 games were at home, so we realized that we got a strong home court advantage to capitalize off of that. But really just taking this momentum and taking it on the road when that time comes. I think that's a big step that we got to take and be road warriors and figure out how to win on the road in tough environments.
Maybe for either of you guys, it seemed like in the past few games there had been a greater emphasis on getting into the paint. Now you guys have started to hit some shots from 3. How do you balance the decision making, kind of knowing what's best in the moment?
I'd say it's just we have a lot of trust in each other and everybody, their roles. We have trust in what people do. So Ju's a great passer out of the post. Dante's a great passer out of the post. Keem is a great passer out of the post. So we just have to realize that we get better shots when we initially drive or hit the post and just kick out and rotating the ball. So just trusting that and just being mature as players and knowing that we got time on the shot clock and we don't have to rush a 3 right in transition. We can enter the ball, kick it out, rotate, and then guys like Donald go 4 for 4.
A career high for Sam Hoiberg tonight, or this afternoon rather. How does that feel, even with a loss, seeing that performance from him?
Oh, you know what? I'm proud of him because of how hard he has worked and waited for this opportunity. It's all of our young guys that are getting opportunity now, just based on the injuries to some of our key players, and they're taking advantage of it. You look at Jamarcus Lawrence, who's getting an opportunity to start for us right now as a true freshman. Denham Dawson, a kid that came in at semester last year, is starting for us as a freshman. And then Sam is getting the opportunity off the bench to play significant minutes. And those guys are just taking advantage of it. And, as a guy that spent a lot of my career on the bench and out of rotations, you're always going to have situations like it. And you talk to your players and just tell them to keep ready. Opportunity will come, and take advantage of it when your name is called. And that's exactly what I thought Sam did. He was aggressive. It was good to see him looking for a shot. It's always a little easier when that first one goes down. And, he plays with a lot of heart. And that's why I'm proud of him and all of our young guys. This game today, I thought we competed. I thought we played hard. This team converts off of miscues as well as any in the country. And we had too many turnovers. 16 turnovers led to 20 points, and they got 22 in transition on us. And those are hard to, when you have those types of numbers, that's hard to make up for. And then the free throws. First half, we shot 50%. Second half, we shot 57%. You shouldn't get your ass kicked like that when you have those types of percentages and that kind of efficiency. But it was the turnovers and putting them on the free throw line, and our free throw defense sucked tonight. That was a joke. Thank you for the laugh. I appreciate that.
What was it that Maryland did today that you think gave you trouble on the defense?
You know what? They have great activity, and I give Kevin a lot of pressure. I give Kevin a lot of credit for getting this thing where it is right now. These guys are playing their best basketball this season, and the 2 wins against Michigan and Wisconsin at home, and then the way they competed against Purdue. That's hard to do going into West Lafayette and having a chance to win. And they had a shot at the end to send that thing to overtime. A really good look on a great play. So, Kevin's doing a phenomenal job with his team, and a big part of that is the pressure that they apply. I thought we handled the full court pressure beautifully. We got some baskets on the back end. We had some really good cuts. We did a good job against the zone. But overall, in the half court, and some of those were unforced. Derek Walker, I thought when he was aggressive and he went right into his move, he was very efficient. And when he waited and was a little hesitant, that's where the turnovers happened. But yeah, turnovers, what do we have, 15, I guess, was too many. Had 15 assists. That's a pretty solid number for us. But the turnovers was what did us in, and give them credit. And then the second half, the offensive rebounds, that we limited them to 3 in the first half. They had 8 in the second, and those second chance points kill you.
As a coach, with some of the bad breaks you've gotten, how do you keep everyone engaged and not let the season get away from you?
Yeah, listen, we got a lot of games left. This is a great learning opportunity for our guys. We're going to continue to try to get Oleg minutes as a freshman, and Blaze is on the verge of getting healthy, so hopefully we'll get Blaze back here soon. And it is, when you lose 2 guys that meant as much to our team, not only on the floor but off. Manuel Bandamel is one of the best culture kids I've ever coached, and it's devastating when a freak accident happens to end your collegiate career. And he'd never been hurt. He'd never sprained an ankle before. He'd never been hurt. So, to have a non-contact injury that ends your career, you just feel so bad for the kid. But, he was at practice the next day, and he went through surgery yesterday, and everything went well. So now our focus shifts to getting him ready, getting him on the path to full recovery, and helping him with his professional career with all he did for us and for our program. Jawan, we're lucky to have him back for a couple of years. He's instrumental in what we do. Hard-nosed, tough kid that does so many little things for us. He helps with the rebounding, and we'd really turn the defense around with those 2 guys. So, as far as to answer your question, we have a lot of time left, and we were right there. I mean, Sam Griesel has a fast break to cut it to 6 with about 12 minutes left, and it got blocked. I thought there was a lot of contact on the play, got blocked, and they went down and converted on the other end. Now it's 10. Then we get the technical and the flagrant, and that thing ballooned up to 20 shortly thereafter. So if we just clean up our mistakes and the little things, we're going to have a chance, to win some games, and again, get our young guys some really valuable experience in the process.
Coach, just what are your thoughts on Jameer Young and the way he has come into Big Ten play, and just the way he has, and just the way he performed against you guys today?
Yeah, he's a stud. He's had an unbelievable impact on our league. I think before tonight, in the 4 home Big Ten games, he was averaging almost 27 points per game, and he just does a little bit of everything. He's so good at rejecting pick and rolls. He does a lot of his damage in the paint, at the rim, getting to the free throw line, where I think he was 9 for 9 today. But he just does so many things for this team. He's hard to stay in front of. And again, when you allow him to reject ball screens, which I thought we did a solid job on him. Usually when a guy is 18, you look back and say we didn't do great, but I thought we made him work for it tonight. But he's a heck of a talent, and a really tough guy to stay in front of.
42.9% from 3-point range was the best since just over 43 at Purdue on January 13th. Is there anything you think you guys can build off that?
Yeah, I think we made 9 in our last game. We've obviously struggled in a huge way shooting the basketball from free throw line and 3-point line. So, to hopefully build a little momentum, making some shots, we're going to have to do that. We're not as good defensively as we were earlier, just based on our personnel. We tried to throw a couple different things we've been working on, some zone, a little bit 1-3-1, 3/4 court press, and just try to do some things to throw teams out of their rhythm. But yeah, we're going to have to make shots if we want to have a chance to win. And, Casey, CJ didn't really get it going as much from behind the arc. I thought had some good shots, good opportunity. Casey had it going in the last game, but, just got to continue to work at it and hopefully knock some shots down to give us a chance to win. Thank you, guys.